Welcome to the show. How's it going, chat? I finally managed to fix my issue. I have a new microphone. I have no idea how it sounds like because it just went in raw. Just got home from shopping. It actually took me a while to find this microphone because yesterday the microphone that has served me with faith for more than 6 years has passed away. And it decided to pass away on a Friday. And so everything is closed, right? Like if I order something, I don't know how it's like in America, but in Romania, if you order something on Friday, you may get it on Tuesday. And so I was like, shit, that's not acceptable. Because I got to make videos. Got to make videos during the weekend. Got to make videos on Monday. And so I had to go out to the brick and mortar stores. Luckily, they still exist. Visa and Mastercard have no dominion there. And I paid with cash. I gotta say, if Visa and Mastercard bans pornography, like, this is how I get off now. This is the new pornography for me, like, pay with cash. Like that sensation when you see the lady behind the counter reaching out to you and you reach out to her, and in that moment, a financial transaction happens that Visa and Mastercard aren't aware of. And that like makes me horny. That turns me on. It's like, oh, I took money from them. Like they could have taken a percentage, but they didn't. They couldn't. And the politicians, they're fuming. They're livid. It's like, V, why don't you use... By the way, speaking of using real money, I had this experience. I don't know if I talked about it. But when I decided to buy my house, like in Romania, there is a national pathology where every single person has to buy their own home. And no, seriously, like I know Romania is like, there's one chucklehead in the chat, Tactical Droid. He doesn't buy himself a laptop. Like he's saving money to buy a home, right? Like Romanians genuinely do not begin their life until they buy their own house. 90% home ownership in my country. And before buying my home, you got to go to a bank. You got to do a down payment, right? And so I go to the bank literally with one of those bags that your mom probably used to have. And I start putting the bricks of cash on the counter. Like, just cash. They were looking at me like I'm some sort of savage from the Congo. Like they were wondering, like, did this guy bring a spear as well? Yeah, like, you have like... stacks of money that look like a brick. Like you can hit someone in the head with that, right? Like you can build a little castle. Because like I had money to buy a house, like the down payment, right? Like there was a lot of cash. They weren't USDs, they were like Romanian currency. So like literally just stacks of cash, like right? And they're looking at me like I'm some sort of criminal. And it's like, lady, the cash is legit. I'm not a drug dealer. Like, look, I got a business. It's just like every single day, the cash arrives, and I use the credit card, and I take all the cash out. It's what I do. It's like, but why do you do that? But why wouldn't I? It's like, why don't you leave it in the bank? What do I gain? Nothing. Oh, there you fucking go. Why would I leave it with you? I do not trust you. You're not part of my family. You're not my friend. I do not know you. Why would I give you my money? And she then explains the reason. It's because the government says so. It's like, Noni? Yeah, like, if you want to make payments more than $1,000, they have to go through a bank. So you need to go down there. You need to give us the cash, put them in the bank, and then we will wire it so that the government can know. It's like, oh, okay. Right. Regardless, I did manage to find the microphone. I didn't manage to get a tablet because, like, that was another thing I wanted to do. I wanted a tablet to see the chat. And I wanted to buy the cheapest one because, like, why would I buy an expensive tablet if I only use it to see the chat? Unfortunately, the cheapest one was $100. Jesus fucking Christ. But it also was on display for more than a year. And I was like, I don't want dead pixels. I'm not buying it. Maybe next month I'll buy one. Lucky you live in Romania. France is going to ban cash. I actually want to see if a nation can actually fucking do it. I don't think you can do it. I think if you ban cash, you kill people. I'm not even kidding. Like, this is not even an exaggeration. You ban cash, you kill people. And I will tell you why. There are individuals that live up in the fucking mountains that do not have access to technology. It's not, I mean, they know how to use technology, but there's no ATM in sight. There's no bank in sight, okay? And they have to do business. And you're telling me, like, the person from the middle of the fucking mountains is going to be able to live with the cashless society? Sweden actually tried that. And they realized it's horrifying. Like, no, like, you're killing people. Unironically. Like, you cannot do, like... Now, you can limit transactions, and you can say, okay, well, anything that costs more than $1,000 has to be done electronically. Sure. But you cannot eliminate cash. And if you do eliminate cash... then there should be a movement to prevent Visa and Mastercard or the banks from debanking people. Like, they should become utilities, right? Yeah, literally, this is because city dwellers, like somebody in the chat pointed out, like, city dwellers think they're the center of the earth. It's like, yeah, if you live in a city, sure, you can manage without cash. But if you live in the fucking mountains, no, you need cash. It's inconvenient. Like imagine having to go to the nearest bank, and the nearest bank is like 2 hours away, right? Like, unless there's a bank in every single fucking village, no, it can't work. There are still places out there without internet. And this is another thing. Like, why should people have internet? What if I don't wanna? Why are people forced to have internet? Not to mention, it's actually cruel towards beggars, right? Like, there are people that are begging. Like, what are they going to do? Get a POS? By the way, I'll tell you another reason why there will never be cashless society, okay? Like, the main reason, like, you guys can put the argument that I'm going to make here, like, between 1 and 10, like, how solid is my argument on why you will never have a cashless society. 1, the argument that I'm making is incredibly shit. 10, the most jaw-dropping, convincing argument you've ever heard, right? Ready, chat? Rank the following argument. The reason you will not have cashless society is because the politicians and the criminal underworld requires cash in order to operate through corruption, right? So, like, politicians need to be corrupt. They require bribes to function. The criminal underworld requires cash in order to maintain their business. The criminal underworld is dangerous, chat. They can actually spurg out pretty fucking bad. They usually have connections. I'm not talking about, like, the random street thug, right? Like, I'm talking about the actual organized mafia that exists in all places on earth, right? And they do have influence. Not necessarily, like, violent influence, but, like, they know people that have blackmail and stuff like that, right? So, like, the idea that a society is going to go cashless while these things exist, unlikely. Unlikely. Not impossible. Like, nothing is impossible, but unlikely. That's how London and Australia are currently pushing these new bills. Well, you know, like, look, there are certain nations on planet Earth that are legit mental illnesses. And they're going to fuck around and find out. Like, it's fine. You know, like, you can make mistakes. You can make mistakes, sure. But, they're going to roll them back. Sweden was a nation that was almost as close as possible to cashless society. And they ran into the problem that I generally mentioned, right? Eventually, they realized that the politicians can't take bribes. And when the politicians couldn't take bribes, they were like, oh shit, why are we doing this? Okay, let's talk about Britain, the mental illness. Holy shit, there's a lot to talk about Britain, the mental illness. I wonder, like, how many decades will it take until Britain gets some fucking common sense? Because, like, they're the ones that first started with rape culture and patriarchy and misogyny and air conditioning are sexist. And I was like, okay, well, like, at some point they gotta finish with that, right? And now, then they move with the trans issues. Right? Like, they move with the trans. Oh, you're misgendering, you necromancer! You're dead-naming, you necromancer! J.K. Rowling, oh! And now they're, like, with the whole let's abolish internet anonymity. Now you may say, well, V, come on, V, you're a little bit rude, V. You're a little bit rude. It's not fair, V. It's not fair. Like, not all British. Not everyone, V. It's okay, we got statistics now. Let me see if I can find the statistics. Because I'm pretty sure I saw a YouGov statistic. Ah, here we go. Right. See, this would have been really amazing if I could have actually have a tablet so that I can see the chat while I'm doing this. But no, it's fine. Okay, so this is from YouGov, right? Like this is government propaganda. You know, it's not Russian propaganda. It's British propaganda. Age verification, right? Like they rolled out the question after a week. Age verification. Almost a week after implementation, Britons are even less likely to think the new rules will be effective at preventing people under 18 from accessing pornography. I mean, duh, they already are using, Getty's mod in order to bypass it. But this is the mental illness. The large majority still support them. How does this make sense, chat? How does this make sense? Like, look, if they genuinely believe that the rules are working, I would have understood. It's like, okay, so, they renounce their privacy in order to protect their children. Okay, you know, like, at least, I wouldn't agree with it, but, like, I would understand the sentiment. But they're like, no. This isn't working, but that's a good thing. 69%. 60-fucking-9% support it. 69%. It's a mental illness. Like, there's no other way to describe it. I'm sorry. Like, if you can describe it something else, like, please tell me. Right? And look at, like, how many people believe that it's not effective. Because it's not like a minority. 64% of people believe it's not effective, but 69% support it. And what was the question? The question was, do you support or oppose requiring age verification to access porn websites? How effective do you think the new rules will be at preventing those younger than 18 from accessing porn? From everything you have seen or heard, do you support or oppose the recent rules requiring age verification to access websites that may contain porn? I love the fact that they don't even say, like, websites that do contain. Like, notice how the British person in 2025 is a very uncertain individual. They don't know anything. All they know is like, well, it may happen, it could contain, it could possibly, potentially. They don't say it does, it can. I got money from an American, $10 for the microphone. It was more than $10, but it's good enough. I'm happy. I'm happy with the microphone fund. Gabriel Norte, you can have corruption and bribes without cash. It just needs a little bit of creativity. Yeah, but, like, politicians are people like you and me, man. Like, they don't want to scan their face to dox themselves, you know? It's like, they gotta streamline things. So it's a lot easier when you just get money in the pocket. Sure, you can be creative. Oh, they have a consultancy firm that their son is the CEO. You know, and all of a sudden, oh, you want a government project? Sure, no problem. It's just that it costs some money. Costs some money. You need to hire this consultancy firm where my son just happens to work at. It's expensive, just so you know. You know, like $10,000 feasibility report. But hey, if you get that report, you get it. YouGov never lines up. No, I think it's pretty accurate. I'll tell you what I think. I believe that most people probably aren't informed. Like, that's one of the issues that I notice most content creators do not realize. They believe that their bubble is the real world. Like, for instance, ad blockers, right? Like, you would think everyone knows what they are. Everyone knows, like, you can install certain programs on your computer and you block ads, right? Like, it's common knowledge. Well, it turns out it's not. It turns out that when YouTube decided to go to war with the ad blockers, the number of people installing ad blockers skyrocketed. Why? Because people weren't aware you can do that. Now, they know from the name, okay, it's an ad block, like, duh, they know what they do. But they didn't know that the program exists before YouTube did that. And so, like, the same thing with doxing yourself, right? Like, most people that do not use social media or just read the news may not even be aware that you gotta dox yourself. Or that their kid has to dox themselves. Right? And so, or they don't find it a problem. Right? Like, that's another issue. Like, they trust that, okay, well, nothing will happen if I dox myself. These statistics can be done by interviewing only one subsection of society. No, I see it online, man. I see it online. Like, usually when you see someone that agrees with it, it's a British person. This covers the rest of the bike fund. Do you think, like, the quality of my voice comes to your ear with a $12 microphone? But it's okay. It's enough. I don't need that anymore. What I do need is to talk about GTA. Right, so, like, if you want to play GTA now, do you know what you gotta do, chat? Can you guess? Can you guess what you gotta do if you gotta play GTA? You gotta dox yourself, you fucking bigot. Dox yourself to play a fucking video game. I'm not kidding. Look here. So people have been digging. They've been digging. And what they found out is that to play GTA Online, you gotta dox yourself. And I'm like, okay, so there's going to be a problem. I guarantee you, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a 16-year-old kid, you know, just like an infant. Because in America, I understand, like, 16-year-olds are like infants. They don't know anything. They can't do anything. They can't even walk. You know, they're like absolute puerile individuals. But, like, this 16-year-old is going to have a bad father. An abusive parent. And the abusive parent is going to be like, you know what, little Billy, why shouldn't you not be able to play? I will allow you to play. And the dad is going to use his own ID to unlock little Billy's account, right? And so little Billy's going to go there and it's going to be a cheeky little shit, may say some edgy stuff. And all of a sudden, daddy is going to find out that his entire ID is flagged, that he can't open social media and he can't check his emails and shit. I guarantee you, like, this case will happen at least once somewhere. It will also be funny if little Billy actually starts talking with a girl his age, and then his father is going to be flagged for that conversation, because, hey, it's his ID, right? Here's the problem. The ESRB was an advisory board, right? Like, it wasn't saying that it is illegal for teenagers to play GTA. And I, as a father, if I think that my son is fucking ready, you know, I'm like Kratos, and I'm like, boy, you are not ready, but like one day I think, you know what, fuck it, boy, you are ready. You are fucking ready, you're not an imbecile, you can play GTA Online. And I want them to be able to play GTA Online. I don't think, like, the government passing legislation to force corporations to parent my kid is acceptable. Like, I don't think that some fucking Karen from HR knows better about my child's development than I do, who am growing up with him. You know? And the other way is also true. Like, let's say my son is 20, and he wants a car, and I can say, fuck you, little Billy, you're going to crash it. You ain't getting shit. You're an imbecile, little Billy, like, face the facts. I'm not saying it as an insult, but, like, objectively speaking, right? As long as you're under my house, you're under my fucking rules. If you want a car, go work for a living and buy your fucking own. That is also a legit argument, right? Just because, like, the government says, oh, well, he's over 18. It's like, who fucking cares? He lives in my house. And if he happens to be a moron, then he's not getting a car. It's called parenting, right? Apparently, you're not allowed to do it anymore. Apparently, like, the companies know best. There goes Call of Duty whole player base. Well, apparently, like, you can still play it. It's just that you can't use the chat function. You can't use the speakers. And so the question becomes, it's like, well, what's the fun in that? You know, like, imagine playing a video game like Call of Duty, and you can't trash talk, you can't banter. SRC, I am doxing myself V. I'll talk to you over ham radio if it comes to that. I showed you the ham radio chats I had with Romanians before. Yeah, but, like, I get it, like, it's a niche culture. You know, people that use ham radio. But, like, let's be honest, it's not mainstream, and they don't fucking care. Because, like, if you want to do that, like, there's going to be websites and stuff over the darknet, IRC, that type of thing, right? Where the government doesn't generally give a fuck. Like, they're not trying to control every single person. It is what it is, I guess. I had to buy GTA from the store for my underage brother years ago because they checked ID at the stores for it. Yeah, but, like, that was always allowed, right? And if you buy GTA with your ID at the store, like they don't monitor every single conversation that goes on that video game, right? Like, they don't monitor to see, oh, well, you said some edgy stuff, and therefore. Like, no. You know, there was never a crime for a parent to buy a game like GTA and give it to his teenage son. Like, there's no legislation like that anywhere on Earth. Oh, you're not doxing yourself. Sorry, I misread. Am I really going to have to call people N-word over carrier pigeons? Yes. You know, that was actually a meme back in the day. What was it, like 2016? That you're going to use carrier pigeons to call people the N-word? I think we're getting to that. If YouTube would ask that I dox myself to watch V, I would refuse. Well, fortunately, YouTube actually does ask for you to dox yourself. The reason for YouTube asking you to dox yourself is because of an Australian law. Like, this is a little bit confusing, right? So, like, the question is, do we hate YouTube or we do not hate YouTube? On one hand, I'm pretty sure that companies actually enjoy the fact that they get to see your ID. Because then they can sell better ads to you, right? And the problem is that it's not companies that really are pushing for this, from what I can see. It's actually legislation. So Australia passed a law which bans children under the age of 16 from using social media. Now, in a way, I will say, yeah, that's good. Like, every single time I'm on Twitter and I listen to the opinion of a teenager under 16, I feel as if I'm getting my human rights violated, you know? You sometimes, like, get someone that argues like a complete imbecile, and you're like, who the fuck is this person? Like, how are they so fucking stupid? And you click on their account and you notice that they're like 15, and you're like, what the fuck is a 15-year-old talking to me as an adult? Like, when I was 15, I was playing Call of Duty. I wasn't going around antagonizing my elderly citizens, being a cheeky little shit. Block! Mute! Ignore! Right? Like, so I already had, like, a self-defense mechanism towards that. But now, apparently, the government wants to ban all people that are 15. It's like, okay. But how are they doing? Well, getting everyone to dox themselves. Well, that's unacceptable, isn't it? And so, YouTube is actually going to have to age verify people in the United States. Like, they're starting in the United States, and then they're expanding this wide. Now, here's how they do it. Because this is actually interesting, right? Like, a lot of people are giving hate to YouTube, but I think, like, out of all the systems, this one is the most interesting. So, if your account is old enough, like, if you created an account from back in the day when your grandma was in diapers, you're verified. So you don't have to show anything, right? Like, if your account is made before I think it's like 2018 or something like that, they consider that, all right, well. If you do not have an old account, they will use AI systems based on your viewing habits to determine how old you are. I don't know how the fuck this is going to work. Now you will say, well, hold on, they're using AI on me. They already were. Like, the algorithm, what do you think that is? Right? So, like, they're already using AI on you. But, like, now apparently they're calibrating to try and figure out, based on AI, if you're over 18 or not. I guess if you're watching Peppa Pig, then they will consider you're a child, but my advice, if you're a father, don't show Peppa Pig on your YouTube to your kid, like, right? Because, like, then the AI may think you're a juvenile. I don't know. But, yeah, so, like, basically the first thing is that if your account is old enough, you manage to pass. If your viewing habits, if your browsing habits are considered to be that of an adult, I guess, like, if you watch politics, if you watch the news, right? Like, if you watch my channel, I think, like, they will consider you to be an adult. the people you hang around with, your mutuals. Now, if that algorithm fails as well, right? So, like, you don't have an old account, you don't have a browsing habit that would indicate that you're mature, then they will ask you to verify your age. Now, to verify your age, you either dox yourself with ID, or you dox yourself by showing your face, or if neither of them is an option, you can use your credit card to spend money on something. So, like, the fact that it allows you to use your credit card to make one purchase, like, no matter how small, I think that's a W. I think, like, yeah, like, showing credit cards, there's already laws that prevent that type of information from being harvested, right? Like, they do not allow that type of information to being linked to the person. And so, and not to mention, like, the thing with an ID is that if the ID gets flagged, that's my worry, and I'll explain why the ID thing is a bad idea. But if the ID gets flagged, then you get flagged as a person. If your credit card gets flagged, you can just get another credit card from a different bank, right? So it's not... I mean, it's still bad, the fact that they want to check, but it is better than the options. SRC Maker tells Robot that, have you read the RFC TCP IP over carrier pigeon? They on paper show TCP IP works over carrier pigeon. Also, my friend father races them. A lot of Italians do it. They're horrible to grow if you live in a neighborhood, if you have a gated community. If you want to piss off your neighbors, raise pigeons, because they shit everywhere. And this is how I got rid of my neighbor's dog. I had a neighbor which enjoyed keeping his dog free in the gated community. And it would constantly come into my yard, dig holes. It would constantly bark at my wife and snarl. And immediately people were like, oh, well, you're not being nice to it. And it's like, why do I have to be nice to it? It's not my fucking dog, okay? Like, I don't mind the fact that there's a dog. I just don't want it on my property. Like, it's not unreasonable, I think. I think I'm, like, being pretty reasonable, right? If you have a dog, I'm not telling you not to. But I'm telling you, like, keep it on your fucking property, right? And the neighbor didn't want to. And my neighbor has, like, a really nice sports car. Really nice. And I said, look, you have two options. Number one, you take care of your dog. Number two, I'm buying pigeons. I'm unironically going to buy pigeons. And he probably got informed of what that means. And immediately the dog vanished. So, Gabriel Narta. IPO AC, IP over avian carriers. Real world test with 9 packets. Had a packet loss ratio of 55% and a response time from 3,000 seconds, 15 minutes to 6,000 seconds, 100 minutes. Extremely high latency tech. If you want to piss off your neighbors, play electric guitar. No, because we actually have rules against that, right? So, like, our version of the Home Owner Association... it actually says you can't have loud noises after a while. So, like, I managed to figure out, like, look, you can have rules. I'll find ways to bypass them just to fuck with you. Like, if you want to fuck with me, that's fine, but I will fuck with you in return. I mean, I could have also bought some fucking rabbits. You know, like, buy 20 or 30 rabbits and release them in the wild. Just, like, literally just release them in the garden. Like, fuck with my neighbor's garden. I don't fucking care. It's like, well, it's your rabbits. Prove it. Not my fucking rabbits. They just appear. Like, there are many ways. Like, if people want to get a dog just to piss me off, then I too can have, like, various animals. I can summon forces of nature that are beyond their comprehension. Anyway, right. Luckily, I didn't have to do any of that. Oh, like getting a macaw. Getting a macaw would have been, like, the worst that I could have done. Like for those of you who don't know, a macaw would have probably even severely injured his dog, actually. So, this is the El Demonio. This is how you deal with the neighbor that is fucking with you, right? You just need a cage. That's it. Like, if the dog tries to get to this, like, I pity the dog, unless it's a big dog, right? Like, if it's a big dog, sure. This thing can snap bone with its beak. That's how powerful they are. And when they shout, when they go, ah, it travels around 600 to 700 meters. It shakes glass. I mean, you know, like, okay, fine. You can have a dog. I can have a macaw. Rabbits, they're pets, no food. Of course they're food. Like, why wouldn't the rabbit be food? It's a herbivore. It's like a bigger rat, I guess. Anyway. It's covered in blood already. Yeah, no, they're actually very friendly parrots, but they're also like if they don't know you, if you're not their caretaker, you're in big trouble. Really big trouble. There is a thing called rabbit poisoning. I don't care. I would just buy more rabbits. Like, I'm not buying the rabbits in order to take care of them. I would have bought them in order to unleash them like pestilence over my neighbor's garden. Anyway, right. How's the bird? I used to have a pigeon. I like the pigeon, but it flew away. What can I do? You know, it's a bird. It flies. It wasn't mine. It was a wild pigeon. It came. I took care of it. I nursed it. Took care of his chick. Gave it love. One day it flew away. Never came back. It is what it is. Okay, I want to show you something interesting, right? So, this one is from the lady that works with Collective Shout, right? And I think like she's now working for the Australian censorship board that deals with like online shit. And she's basically making this argument, like right here. I swear, like, she's being hunted everywhere she goes by an army of posses. Like, every time she posts, if you look down, there's individuals like this that say, your organization defended cooties. But anyway, she's basically saying, adolescents are the most common perpetrators of sex abuse with children. Oh, Dios mío. According to the new Australian research published in the International Journal of Child Abuse and Neglect. So basically what they're doing is they're saying, look, there's research. See, this is why we need to get people to dox themselves while using the internet, right? Because, like, due to pornography, all of a sudden our children have gone insane. They're local. Now, I don't need research in order to figure out why this is happening, right? Like, why is it that out of all the perpetrators of CSAM, the overwhelming majority of them are teenagers? Like, does anyone know? Can you guys figure it out? Because it's not rocket science, right? Like, all you gotta do is to understand that teenagers aren't these, like, fictional creatures out there that we may have never heard of them. No, like, we used to be teenagers as well. And so it's not difficult to understand. It's like, okay, a teenager surrounds himself with other teenagers. And so when it comes to crimes of opportunity, which are usually perpetuated by people you know, statistically speaking, right, like if logic dictates, statistically speaking, the perpetrators of the crime will also be teenagers. Just by rule of average, right? Like if 9 out of 10 people you know are teenagers and someone perpetrates a crime out of you, like what are they going to be? But anyway, right, let's look at the Australian research. Holy shit, the research, right? This is how they're doing the research, right? Perpetrator, right? So they're like other known adolescents, right? Like these are the perpetrators, 10%, 8% parents and caregivers. Like again, this makes sense because this is a type of crime that's committed by people that the victim knows. But you're never going to see the activists mention that, right? Other known adults, right? So like as you can see, like the biggest percentage is people that they know, but like the highest one is other adolescents. Unknown adolescents is just 1.4. Right, so like, look at this. Violent pornography identified as a contributor. Oh my goodness. The authors theorized. This is a research, okay? The authors theorized that one factor in the rise of adolescent sexual offending could be sexualization of adolescents in popular media, which may increase expectations and pressure to have sexual experience. Well, hold on a little bit, right? Because again, I was an adolescent as well. And I vehemently remember that even though I didn't have pornography at that age, when you're a guy and you finish puberty, yeah, like there is a pressure to have sex in every culture, in every society, everywhere. Like that's just like part of human nature. Right? Like, am I wrong? Is this just a Romanian thing? Or is it like something international? Like when you're 17, it's like, hey, did you get laid? You know? Am I? But despite that, I never felt the need to force myself on anyone. And so, let's take this study, and let's say that it's trying to analyze a heart pill. Okay? Like, let's say it's trying to analyze some medicine that you give for people that have a risk of coronary heart disease, right? So the author theorized that the medicine could be effective for people with heart disease, and it may increase expectations and could influence would anyone buy the drug if you're framing it like that? Right? Like if you buy a medication, especially for heart, like the words you'd use is like, this medication does increase, it will cause blah, it does do blah. Like that's the language of certainty, of science. But what they're doing here is that they're coming up with a conclusion. They're not even running an experiment. They're not even like performing anything, right? Like they're just saying, oh, well, we theorized that basically the online space is responsible, and the online space could probably manipulate this in some way and have some effects. And so the solution is to get all adults to dox themselves. This is unacceptable, by the way. Like no sane person, no person with a brain and two neurons to rub together. Even like if this would be the cause, right? Like even if pornography is the cause for the rise in crime, it's unacceptable for a scientist to make this type of study because they haven't proven anything. They haven't done any experiment. They're just like, it's my opinion. It's my take. The thing is, like, the study isn't incorrect, right? Because like it could. Well, if you say it could, then it may as well just not, right? Like it's up for debate. But the way it's presented, you may as well not write anything. Like I can get a 12-year-old to write science reviews like that. You know, I can also say feminism in the third world have led to an increasing crime rates. Arguments that feminists make over trivial shit could actually distract lawmakers from tackling real-life issues, which potentially may increase the risk in actual crime on the streets. And I can write you like dozens of science papers like that, right? So like the conclusion is to ban feminism. SRC Baker, thank you for the $5. No more trolling with tech shit, but you gotta love my Siberian Husky. Most of your chat probably have seen him. By the way, his name is Thor. I used to have a Husky as well. Unfortunately, I was living in an apartment building. And during the night, the Husky liked to howl at the moon, much to the dismay and horror of my neighbors. And so I had to give him back to the owner, which was upsetting, but it is what it is. Anyway, scroll up to the green super chat that I missed. Didn't I get both of them? I did get both of them. Yeah, it's feminist science. I'm actually curious, like, how many of like, every single article that I see justifying censorship, I'm not even kidding, it's literally with the weasel words. Literally with the weasel words. I could potentially cause harm, may cause harm. And it's like, well, hold on a little bit, right? Like, if it's something that you're asking which is trivial, right? Then okay, like, if it could cause harm and it's like a trivial thing, put a seatbelt before you're driving. Okay, fine. You know, it's a trivial thing. You want me to dox myself when I'm playing a video game? How about you go fuck yourself? Because you're not asking, like, I don't care about anything else. You're asking me. I'm an adult. I'm not a kid. Why do I have to dox myself? Why does your mother have to dox herself when she comes on my Discord? I don't want your mom to dox herself. I mean, like, women voting could potentially, like, come on. Yeah, literally, like, they never asked the question, at what cost? At what cost compared to what? Exactly. Do I still have the Bengals? No, I don't have any more pets. Like, my wife did not want pets when we had the child. And it was something that I was like, okay, fine. I was like, V, can you guarantee that the cat is not going to sleep on the baby and suffocate it? And I was like, no, I can't guarantee. Can you guarantee that the baby is not going to hurt the cat? No, I can't guarantee. I was like, okay. Who is even this Warsaw that wrote the paper? How many papers was written in the past? Well, I think like this one is actually by the Australian government. Like, again, the paper is not incorrect, right? Like, none of the statements there are false. But, like, again, you can run that paper through ChatGPT and it will tear it apart, right? It's not a scientific paper. Like, you're not proving anything. It's kind of like someone asking me, V, try to fix the birth rates. And I could say, well, the lack of testosterone could affect the birth rates. There's a lot of push for LGBT issues online, which, and inclusivity and equity, removing sexy women from cover magazines and replacing them with morbid corporeal manifestation. And this could have an effect on men as they're seeing these morbidly obese women, and it totally kills their sex drive. And the man may look at a woman like that and be like, why the fuck am I going outside to meet that shit? I could just stay inside and play Stellar Blade. Right? And that's my research. That's my study. Is it wrong? No. Like, I genuinely said the word could. Right? So, like, if it could, it may as well could not. It's not a false statement. Like, if you apply logic, when you use the word could, it doesn't imply that it does, and it doesn't imply that it doesn't. It's a weasel word. No matter what happens, you're in the right. Christopher Keating, millions of people buy nutritional supplements, and they use the language of may and could by law. Yeah, it's the language of the weasel word. Like, you cannot be wrong if you use that language. SRC Maker, thank you for another $10. What if a MILF joins your Discord? The server is going to want to dox herself for sure. They're going to want to x-ray her like the TSA does when you go through airport security. Okay, no, I'll show you why I think that they're really interested in getting your data, right? Now, the company may be interested in getting your data simply to sell you ads. But, like, let me show you the whole concept of the digital ID, which, by the way, like, the digital ID isn't the problem. Because a lot of people are like, oh, the digital ID is coming. Oh, no, I will never use it. I don't want the digital ID. It's like, okay, the digital ID isn't the problem, right? The problem is the concept. This is the problem. And so, what exactly are they planning to do? Because, like, they're talking about it. They're very open. As you can see, you have, like, the digital identity. Like, this is you, right? This is you as a person, right? People, entities, your business. And as you can see, like, from you got, like, all these nodes. You got travel and mobility. You got healthcare. You got social media. You got finance, right? So, like, your banks, your banking account, your passport, your ability to travel, your social media, your Twitter, your Facebook, right? Like, all of these are part of your identity. And up until now, these are like separate identities in a person's life, right? Like, if you fuck up with your financial services, it's just your financial services that take your hit. Like, your social media platforms aren't affected, right? If you fuck up with your healthcare, like you don't vaccinate your kid or whatever, you don't pay insurance, well, it only affects you in the realm of the healthcare. Okay, they want to connect all of this together. And so, if you're on a social media platform and you say an edgy joke, or you spread misinformation or disinformation, you think that the Hunter laptop Biden story is real, they can flag that node, which means that now you cannot create an account on any social media ever. Because if you look at how Twitter works, or you look at how YouTube works, none of the social medias right now have a grace period. None of the social medias right now say, okay, we're going to ban you, and in 3 years your ban is up. No, you're banned forever, right? Like, the only exception was when Elon Musk managed to become CEO. It was kind of like a coming of a king, you know? He's like, okay, I'm banning everyone that got banned. That is the only exception. Besides that, if you, like I don't know how many people are aware how YouTube works, but if you get banned on YouTube, they flat out tell you, you're not allowed to hold any other channels. Like, if you have any other YouTube channels and they find out, they will ban them. You're not allowed to create any other YouTube channels. You're not allowed to appear on other people's channels regularly, or their channels get banned. And it's a ban for life. Now, when you get banned from social media, sometimes they don't even tell you. Like, they will just say, due to severe terms of service violation, your channel is over. That's it. You wake up one day, boom, bam, gone, right? Now, today, if you get banned on YouTube, you're banned on YouTube. You still have, like, it's a bad thing, but you still have, like, other alternatives, right? Like, you can go to Twitch, you can go to Kick, you can go to BitChute, you can go to Rumble. Like, there's alternative. But, like, what would happen if you would have an ID? And in order to make an account, you gotta scan your ID. You get like your own person. It doesn't matter if it's a digital ID, or, as long as it's your identity, right? Like, as long as you gotta show your driving license, as long as you gotta show your face, like, if you have to dox yourself, and they flagged you as a person, well, now all of your social media accounts are banned, right? And so, like, what would happen if, like, all of it is integrated? So, like, for instance, you fuck with social media, and now your finances are fucked as well, because they're connected, right? Or you then go you don't get the Fauci ouchie. You don't get the Fauci ouchie, and now all of this shit is flagged. Because you remember how it was during the pandemic. Like, if you didn't get the Fauci ouchie, and you went to the McDonald's, they would check for your papers. It's like, papers, please. You go to the mall, papers, please. In Britain, they wouldn't allow you to sunbathe, right? Actually, they wouldn't allow you to sunbathe even with the Fauci ouchie. And so, why would I trust that this isn't how the system is going to be implemented? Because they will say, well, like, will never happen. It's like, how do I know? How do I know? Like, I lost a lot of trust after the pandemic. I saw the government with its mask off. And so, like, is there a rule that would prevent the government from doing that? Like, is it a constitutional amendment that says the government isn't allowed to do that? Is it, you know, like, even like a normal legislation that would punish the government for, oh, it isn't? Oh, I see. So, like, safetyism for the people, but no safety for the government? No safety whatsoever? Interesting. And so, like, what exactly do they want to do? Well, what they want to do is they want to have, like, every nation, or at least important nations, like Britain, France, Australia, they have, like, their various entities. They have their Ofcom, the E-Commissioner, I think it's called in Australia. France has a different name for it. In the United States, it could be the FTC. Like, anyway, just a bureaucratic organization that doesn't get voted by the people. Like, the person that sits there isn't elected, doesn't respond if they fuck up, can do whatever the fuck they want, right? And so, like, these people are the ones that will dictate. Like, for instance, Ofcom dictated to social media that they wanted to know the activity of the protest during the two-tier Kier thing that happened, right? So, like, they want to know the names, they want to know what's happening, like, they want to be kept in the loop. And it's like, well, hold on a little bit. Doesn't this sound a little tyrannical? Like, what does this have to do with children? Right? What does this have to do with children now? Like, it's almost like the children are completely out of the conversation. And the children are still accessing this shit by using Getty's mod. Which, as you can notice, they don't seem to be very panicked about. From Jupiter, why does the UK Gov want state-enforced sex education for toddlers suddenly want digital ID to protect kids from porn? Well, let me tell you something even more funny, right? There was a case recently where they could have had an inquiry into the grooming gangs. And a lot of the labor people voted no. No, why should we have an inquiry into the grooming gang? No, absolutely not. And sometimes the exact same politician that voted no on that, then went and voted yes on the regulations online. And it's like, well, you really care about kids, man? That sounds a little bit weird. SRC Maker, okay, real talk. If we have to dox ourselves, I'm going to have to abandon all my social media and create new ones. Otherwise, I'm probably going to get fired for all the shit posting I've done for 20 years. I think a lot of people will be like that. I don't think you have to dox yourself, though, because like if you have an account for 20 years, then you are considered to be of age on most of these sites, right? They could have easily proposed to make it illegal to give children unsupervised access to the internet, but instead the solution is to remove all privacy from personal life. You know, like, okay, obvious motive is obvious. Yeah, no, they're not. Listen, I think parental controls are enough. I think that some kids are capable of using the internet much faster and others much slower. Like, I know people that I wouldn't allow them to have internet access even at the age of 18. Because they're morons. They're gullible. They're idiotic. They would click on every link. They would fuck up my computer. And so, it depends, right? Like, the only person that knows best when someone is ready to use the internet or not is the parent. Like, you can have a kid that knows how to use the internet at the age of 15. I fucking knew. I knew how to use the internet at the age of 14. I was already using MS-DOS. I knew how to program in Turbo Pascal. I think I was 13 when I knew how to do that, right? It depends. As Sarga liked to put it, depends on the child. But seriously though, like when it comes to using the internet, it depends. Like I never had my computer virused. I never fell for online scams. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to at some point, but like I took all the precautions. I knew exactly not to meet with strangers, not to share my information online. Like I think I was pretty based when I was young. And I came out fine. I finished med school, I finished law school, I got a wife, I got a kid, like, right? And so, there are people like me, but not everyone is like me. Some people are morons, sure. Who knows best? The parent. If the parent wants their kid at the age of 15 to use the fucking internet, I think the kid should be able to use the fucking internet. If the parent wants the kid to not use the computer even at the age of 18, then the kid should just get and make money himself and fuck off from that parent's home. And when he is under his own roof, gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. Millions of people buy nutritional supplements. And they use the language of manhood. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, you're right. You're actually right. But like nutritional supplements aren't really... They're not classified at the same level as heart pills, right? Like in order to get heart pills, you need a doctor's note. The same people who put children on the internet in the first place want us to make it safe for children. Honestly, just make smartphones not allowed for minors. Well, no, you can actually have like smartphones that have inbuilt devices which prevent access to certain websites. They used to have them for schools, right? And so like if you have that smartphone and you want to log on in order to see some, I don't know, smoot, the smartphone doesn't allow you. Right? Because it's made for kids. But you can have parental controls. Like, you can literally set up that with your ISP. Like, you can have another computer in your house that you give it to your son, and you use the ISP to block certain websites. And then you can look and see what your kid has been doing online. And you can block that as well. Like it's not rocket science. It's 2025, alright? Like, we grew up with computers. We know how to do this thing. It's not the generation of our parents anymore. It's not the generation of our grandparents. Like, for us, technology isn't something that you poke with a stick and you stay away and you worship it. Like, technology is actually something that we can control. And if you can't, just ask ChatGPT how to fucking do it. And it's also like the realization that at some age, kids also learn how to use the internet, and no matter what you do, they're still going to find a way around it. And if you haven't educated them properly until that age, sell a fucking V. Like if your kid wants to smoke, this is like a small example, right? If your teenager wants to smoke, he's going to fucking smoke. There's nothing you can do about it unless you're like eyeballing him 24/7. Kids should not have smartphones in general. I think it's based on the parent, right? Like if you as the parent think you shouldn't have a kid with a smartphone, then not. But like, what if you have a kid that's ready to have a business at the age of 16? He's business savvy. He understands the world. BTFOs you in politics. Says, no, dad, you're stupid. Starts quoting various philosophers at you. Right? And then he's like, yeah, I want to start my business. You're telling me, I know you can't have social media to run your business. Perfect example. I got a neighbor that I grew up with. At the age of 16, he was a plumber. Was making more money than I was. Simple. Like and then at the age of 17, he got another guy, also as young as he did. They made a bank loan, both, and they started a business. And even now, they're operating a business that it was at 17. Didn't go to university, didn't study, and is making more money than me. And I went to 2 universities, right? So it depends. Depends on the person. Accountability is kryptonite, yes. It's also the word kids that really bothers me, right? Because like when you say kids, like the idea that a 2-year-old and a 17-year-old is the same is abhorrent. It's like, no. Like there is a thing as a child, as a juvenile, right? Like a person that's up until the age of puberty. And then you have teenagers. And raising a teenager and like the consideration for a teenager is a lot different than that of a child. Anyway, right, whatever. It is what it is. I'll just show my son his wheezing, skeletal, dying grandfather on his deathbed and say, son, this man smoked every day for 50 years. Do you want to be like him? And I'll be like, yes. Because listen, we all get to die one day. One day I too will die of some shit. But at least I know that I lived. At least I know that I burned like a fiery passion all my life. And I did everything that I wanted, Father. And I do not have any regrets. And I know that if I would start life all over again, I would smoke again because that's what I wanted to do. And then what are you going to tell him? Huh? What are you going to tell him? No, you need to suffer. Life is suffering. Right? Quality versus quantity, Father. Quality versus quantity. Everyone truly dies, no one truly lives, you know? You're going to raise a comic book villain. It's going to monologue. Anyway. And by the way, obviously, like there's context and nuance. It's like one thing to do fentanyl, it's another thing to smoke a ciggy. Come on, you know, I really hate like this 2025 argumentation. It's like, yeah, you know, like if the kid wants to smoke, he will smoke. So if he wants to do fentanyl, it's like, hold on, come on, dude. Is it like even he? I assume he's not a moron. Like you can. It's one thing to, you know, show him a person like your grandfather that's 80 and he's wheezing, right? Okay, fine. But like he can also show you 100 other people that aren't wheezing and they were smokers, right? And not to mention if your grandfather is 80, the kid will be like, well, Dad, how long do you want me to live anyway? Like at some point, let's be real, you know? At some point, I will wonder myself, like, do I even want to live more? Because like, you get to an age where everything hurts, you can't see shit, your hand is shivering on the mouse, right? So like, okay. But like, show him a person with fentanyl. Like, how many healthy people that do fentanyl he will see? None. Okay, well, completely different context. Just because you put it in your mouth and smoke doesn't mean, right? What are the 16-year-old businesses is giving other kids access to internet? I don't understand the question. What are the 16-year-old business? Oh, like if a 16-year-old wants to give other kids internet access, they could. Like I definitely know the guy from my school that would have actually taken his parents' ID, photocopied it, and then sell it to other kids at the school just so we can have internet access. Like I know the guy. I know the guy. That would happen, yes. Anyway, right, I'll end it here. Didn't talk about Visa and Mastercard. Shit. I'll probably talk tomorrow if I can get Madame Savi on, hopefully. And in the meantime, I will upload my videos on my main channel. Thank you again, everyone, for the super chats. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.